All right, guys, we're here. We're doing a test mission setup for my new Ultramarines. Well, new. We say that loosely around here. I'm testing a new build, put it that way. Got a drop pod in. We're going to try to get some extra mobility, try to put some things in to test out, seeing how they do against Dark Eldar. We're going to be playing against Dark Eldar, so I just want to test some things out, see if it's worth getting them fully painted up. I'm going to try to use some clever tricks versus actual units in this mission. We'll see if that's working out also. So in this list, I'm going to run with 2 patrols and then Supreme Command for Gilliman, since he's the warlord. I had a couple different ways to cut points, and it ends up coming out of the troops. So from the points, patrol number 1, I have Tigurius here. I have a captain. He's going to have a super Stormbolter relic, so he's not really equipped with what he has there. He has the Lightning Claw, and he's got the relic bolter, Stormbolter, from the Ultramarine kit. That'll give him a lot of bullets. 2 units of Vitreous Guard, 1 unit of Infiltrators for the troops with the Helix, and then 2 Devastator squads, one with multi-meltas and one with grab. Got the drop pod. In its second patrol, we got the Chaplain on bike. We got the Super Apothecary. They're both going to be upgraded with Warlord traits. We have a 10-man Intercessor squad with the Fist, Assault Bolters. We got 1 5-man Hellblaster squad. Sergeant's going to be upgraded, Master Crafted. And then we're going to have 1 unit of Suppressors. So that's what we're going to test out today. That's the list. Let's go to the Dark Eldar list and see what they're playing. All right, here we are with the Dark Eldar. We're going to try a little bit something different here. We played more of the typical build you see, though there are a lot of Raiders, so maybe it is still typical. We got the 3 patrols. Starting off, we got a Super Succubus. We got 2 units of 10-man Witches. We got a Shard Net in each. We got Agonizers, so we got Gauntlet, so a couple weapon upgrades. We have 2 units of Incubi in that patrol. Next patrol is going to be led by Drazar and some Rax. It's our Technomancer. So we got 3 units of Rax with double liquefier guns. Another squad of Incubi. Out of all of these Raiders, all but this one with the black sail are going to be Dark Technomancer Raiders. So he could overcharge it, I guess, if he wants to. And then the last squad is going to be led by an Archon, and he's got Fighty Grotesque. So this is going to be the special coven that lets him have reroll wounds for 1 CP. Strat. I forget the name of that one, but we'll go through that. But he's got some Grotesque. So he just wants to try out Grotesque. We'll see what those guys do. And that's the Dark Eldar. So let's get into the mission and then deployment. All right, we're here with a mission. We're playing Priority Target. This is where you get to move the objectives. It's a pretty good secondary for the mission, so we went ahead and both chose it. Let's quickly take a look at the mission secondaries that we've chosen. I've chosen Oaths of Moment, Surprise, Surprise, Deploy Scramblers, and Priority Target. Jeremy, playing the Dark Eldar, has chosen Herd the Prey, Deploy Scramblers, and Priority Target. So he's going to try to keep me out of his table quarters. We're both scrambling, and we're both grabbing our points. Let's take a look at the board. We've done player place terrain. I've tried to place the objectives away from terrain so that he can't hide with raiders. I've tried to put some craters out, not have forests, so that there's no mice to hit. It's pretty open, but there are some good lanes for him to run around, so you can only do so much. And you can kind of see where the objectives were moved. I moved this one here, moved it back. He moved this objective here towards that ruin. He moved this objective on the other side of this wall. And then I moved my objective, actually pulled it forward, so I can kind of be close to the center since I picked Oath of Moment. He won the roll to pick the side, so he picked this side. So now we are rolling to see who's going to go first, and then we'll come back after deployment. All right, we're here with the turn 1 before the battle starts deployment. We did realize that we weren't paying attention to where the deployment zones were, so Jeremy opted to remove one of his target objectives. So he moved it, instead of moving it towards this place, he moved it back here. And he ended up picking that as one of his primary targets. So if you look at this ruin, it's actually blocked. And his deployment zone is right to this line, this corner here. It's a diagonal here. So he's got a pretty good hiding spot. Over here, you see I've put some infiltrators up in harm's way. Everyone's kind of blocking here. Got some Victrix screening some characters. This is my priority target, so I want to keep that safe. This objective is kind of out in no man's land, but so is that one. So those are going to be dangerous to hold. I do have a drop pod I potentially can put stuff in. You can kind of see he's got raiders. Incubi racks, Grotesques, Archon. There's Drazar and some Grotesques. There's witches. So he's Incubi racks. So there's lots of guys. There's some naked racks just hanging out. So we're going to see. We haven't rolled to go first yet, so we're going to do that roll here in a second. We'll come back after the first turn. All right. Ultramarines have got the roll for first turn, so we spent a couple points to redeploy. We've brought the pod in. It's all in. So we've moved these infiltrators up. We're going to take some shots here. They're in danger zone. They're going to get killed next turn, but we're going to try to do as much damage as we can. Gilman ran up to the center. We got Oath of Moment, so we're going to try to hold the center. This is my priority objective. Kind of left it weak, but we'll see. I just need to score it now, so I'll get it at the end of my turn. We brought the pod down. We moved the captain up. We got the Oath of Moment, Seal of Oath here. These guys got the full buffs from the chaplain. That's the Hellblasters. They got +1 hit and wound. They have range here. We've marked with the Seal of Oath the Raider that has the Witch. I'm hoping to kill 3 Raiders this turn and potentially some guys inside. That's the plan. We'll see if it goes off. We opened up the pod just to get a little bit extra movement. It does block a little bit, but it also hopefully blocks him. We shall see, though. Could come back to bite me. Let's go to shooting and see what I do. We'll come back after psychic and shooting is done. Or maybe just after this turn is done. We'll be back. All right, the dust has settled. Like an idiot, I dropped my pod. I put the grav des down. I was measuring, and then I put the pod right in front of them. So fortunately, they could not see guys that fell out of there, so they had to shoot at a raider. But I did kill 3 raiders. So I killed 1 raider, 2 raiders. He lost a couple guys there. I was able just to see a couple guys shooting, so I killed a couple witches there from just random bolters, but the grav guys were forced to shoot at Drazar's raider. What a waste. They did do 5 wounds to it, so it's not all bad. This raider here, he was going to have to put guys out in the open. He spent a CP to emergency disembark. I'll have to double check. He had 2 units in there. I wonder if he can only disembark 1 unit.
I put the racks.
Oh, he did. So that's the second squad. So he did put 1 rack squad here to mess with my +1 to wound. So I had to shoot them with other stuff that I didn't want to shoot them with. And then he put the incubi here, so they were safe to not get grabbed. So that was good for him. So, yeah, that's it. We got a lot of stuff that's just ready to just go like pick up my army here in a minute. We'll see what he does with his fighting. All right, the end of Jeremy's turn. We'll take a quick tour of the board in a second. But scoring-wise, I'm still in the center. Got 4 points for Oath of Moment since I killed a vehicle. I forgot to scramble. Everyone ran a shot, so nobody scrambled. But I did get priority targets. He cannot get hurt the prey the first turn, but he did the scramble in his zone, and he picked up priority targets. He did knock me off the center, so I'm going to get 10 points on the primary. So let's quick look board. He shot right here, and then he fire and faded back with the racks, so they were able to wound some of the infiltrators inside. His Archon jumped out and ran just to be another guy on the objective. Over here, some Grotesques jumped out, tried to make a long charge through the crater onto those multi-melta guys, failed. The Succubus also tried to make it, but failed. Incubi and 1 lone witch, he paid 2 CP to auto pass, jumped up there, killed those infiltrators, and slung up onto the objective through the wall to OPSEC it and take it away. So he did take that point away, so I don't get 15 on the primary. Over here, these racks kind of towed in on the line. They did scramblers. This raider just shot. 2 raiders shot and did 1 wound left on that drop pod, but it's still alive. So now it is turn 2. Do I bring in the suppressors? He did spend 1 point to jump 1 raider with 5 incubi back into the webway, so it can now deep strike in. Got to be conscious of that. All right, top of turn 2. Let's go over what we're doing before we're about to shoot. So everyone has blobbed up. It's the blue sea of blob. We're going to try to take a lot of shots here, see if we can't kill anything. He's got Grotesques. They're just waiting in the wings to come assault, so I got those kind of problems. But I can see a few things. I'm going to try to get rid of most of his raiders. He still has 1 in reserve, but I'm going to try to get rid of most of these. Position my characters there to be protected. I did remember to do scramblers, so I'm doing it right there with those Victrix Guard. I've dropped my suppressors in. My litanies, I got +1 to hit off, but I failed +1 to wound. I put it on the intercessors. Everyone else moved up. We're in that crater, so we're moving a little bit slow. Fight Captain moved up to hopefully shoot at whatever falls out of that raider. He did put it by that ruin, so they could fall back into there. So we'll see. We're going to try to get them all, though. So let's go to shooting. And then, all right, we're at the end of turn 2, top of turn 2, the shooting. We've gone ahead and just called a game here. The shooting was brutal. I was able to blow up this raider, kill the 5 racks that were on the objective, and the 10 witches that fell out. Unfortunately, he didn't have a good way to hide them. And I was able to reach them with these intercessors and the grab guys and my captain. So lots of shooting, destroyed those. I split fire with my multi-meltas, blew up the raider that was here. Some grotesques fell out. Blew up the raider that was here with the help of some suppressors. So that left some incubi here and some racks. I was able to shoot the racks down. Incubi were behind the wall. And then the grotesques were here, and they got shot by shooting twice with the intercessors again. So lost a few more grotesques. So it was really looking bad. He only had a few units left on top of 2 going into his turn. So we just went ahead and called it. Interesting game. I think obviously from a terrain perspective, I had a little bit of advantage putting the pieces down, left a little open for him. Again, he wasn't really judging it based on this deployment zone. So we're just going to re-rack it, play another one. But just kind of give you a quick battle report showing off a new list concept I'm trying out with the drop pod. Interesting. And yeah, that's it. We'll call it from here. And we'll see you next time.